Hello and welcome to Alternate Image Raid. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I wasn't really planning on talking again about Maranix and this fusion, at least not at the beginning of this, but I'm seeing these videos from other content creators, from Ash and Hell Hades, about how this is the easiest skip of my life. This is a hard pass, that this is why I'm skipping this fusion. And man, I just, well, obviously, you know, if they want to skip, they can skip. If you want to skip, you can skip. Do whatever you'd like. But for me, I'm still going after this fusion. So I did a video a few days ago about like why I'm doing this fusion, and most of the points there still count. That will be linked in the description below. But I did want to talk a little bit. I want to address some of their comments now that this fusion champion is actually in the game, now that they can see the multipliers, now that we can see the actual event and the points required, and kind of go over the things that these other creators are frustrated with and why they are declaring they are skipping. And then I want to say why I am still going for this, but maybe you have a reason that now that you wouldn't want to. Let's first get into what are some of the issues that these other creators are having with this content. And one of Hell Hades' main points is that, well, this guy's just a nuker, not doing anything that is incredibly new or unique, and the damage just isn't high enough to justify, going after this fusion. It's only showing here on this page, only graded as strong for the AoE. The A1 might be rated godlike, but that's only if you get those extra hits. And without those extra hits, it's just strong. So for me, that's by itself not a reason to skip a guaranteed legendary. It doesn't have to be godlike to be worth getting something for certain in this game. Not much stuff in this game is guaranteed. However, I'll also notice that when looking at his actual website now, just hours after that video launch, we noticed that all of these attacks are graded godlike for their overall. And that's one of the main reasons I'm still in. While without the extra hits, yes, this A1 isn't incredibly potent. A 3.8 multiplier as it goes for the 2 hits is still a solid A1. And then the chance to have it be double that is amazing. Adding to here the 4 multiplier, and Hell Hades points out this is just like a Kale AoE attack, which isn't weak, but isn't amazing. I can see the complaint there. However, it is also adding a Hex and a decreased defense. And then, of course, the A3 is ignoring unkillables and ignoring shields if that Hex is out. It's still pretty good. Not great, not amazing, but good enough that as an accountant that can go after this, I would like to do it. Now, this note even here says kind of, overall the kit seems powerful but difficult to set up. There may be some uses in Hydra concerning the Mischief Head, but it's unlikely you would select Maranix over Mithrala or Rule in that setting. And while that's fair, you do have 3 keys potentially to use for Hydra if you're bothering with those. If you're going with those, or if you don't have Mithrala or Rule yet, that's somebody you're going to want to take to bring that Hex down to deal with that Mischief Head. And it's just good extra damage because Hex makes all of your attacks kind of AoE. So for me, since I do end up using 2 or 3 keys every week on my Hydra, and I have Mithrala, so, you know, I would like to use that champion, but when I do another key, Mithrala only goes on my hard boss. When I do my normal key, it'd be nice to have somebody that also could bring this debuff, along with, of course, that decreased defense. That's not a negative. That's solid for this champion. Again, I don't think this champion is amazing. It's not God tier. It's not going to change your account, which is what I said in the last video. This isn't an account-changing champion, but it is guaranteed. It is a Force Affinity nuker. That's nothing to shake your head about. So Ash's complaint was a little bit different. His main issue that he brought up, of course, that it is just a nuker that isn't doing something amazing in its own right, but is that the points required to get these rares that you need for this fusion are actually too high and makes it prohibitive to go after, and there's no point in going after it because of that. So I don't agree the points are too much. We'll see that we're going to have to get 16 of these rares, fuse those into the epics, as I kind of described last time, and then fuse those into this. And the points to get those are higher than normal. We'll see Ash, commented on both the champion training being too far, and also the 2,200 points to get the rare here for the Dragon Tournament. So is that a reason to skip? And the answer for that for you is maybe. Maybe you skip because of that. if it's going to stress out your account to go after these points. If you're going to have to spend what you wouldn't have spent, if you're going to have to use resources you wouldn't have used, and you don't necessarily need a Force Affinity Nuker, then maybe you pass. For me, I don't necessarily need the Force Affinity Nuker. However, I don't mind getting 2,200 points in Dragon, particularly during a 2x Dragon event where it's going to be much faster and easier to go after it. I don't mind that. I don't mind going after those points in the champion training event. That's what I save most of my resources for. So when we go look at this event, I'm going to go after this legendary skill tome regardless. So no matter where this rare champion was, I was going to the skill tome anyway. Probably not going after the Chaos Ore. I don't value that a lot. So for me, these changes aren't enough to make me reconsider my decision. For you, it does look like it could be a little bit harder of a fusion than normal. It does look like the point requirements and the event requirements are going to be not insignificant. You know, you will have to complete each of these events, each of these tournaments, up to what seems like a fairly high point in order to get these rewards. The only one that's going to give me some pause, but it'll be kind of too late at that point, will be the Champion Chase tournament and the Summon Rush. Of course, the Summon Rush is where you can get a guaranteed epic from that, which is going to decrease the burden a lot for you, but it'll probably be a lot of points. So if you weren't going to pull for that Summon Rush anyway, it probably isn't going to be worthwhile, you know, unless there's a 2x or a specific 10x you need, or a guaranteed or something else going with that. Not pulling enough to get the epic, pulling enough to get the rare is probably going to be more attainable, more reasonable, and is something I'm going to do. So like, that's it for me. I don't think this champion is amazing. I don't think she's god tier, but for me, getting anything guaranteed in this game is so amazing. It's so solid to get something guaranteed, especially if the champion is decent. And this champion is decent. This champion has a useful kit. The champion is a kit that can be used in Arena, that can be used on Hydra, that can be used in any kind of wave clearing content that you're looking for, with still a decently solid A1. So yeah, I'm still going after this champion. I can understand the complaints that people are having with this champion, with the multipliers, but a guaranteed legendary and safety from the worry that they are going to come in and buff this up maybe and give us, you know, a 5 multiplier or a 6 instead of a 4 on one of these abilities. If this multiplier here bumped up to a 6, everybody be like, oh, this is amazing, go after it, ignores unkillable, such high damage. I think it's worth getting. I think you should go after it if you can. Again, and much similar to what I said previously, if you're able to go after it without it stressing out your account, without it causing you problems, without you having to spend or blow resources or otherwise do something negative to your account, go get it. You know, for me, I'll just be spending this energy on extra masteries if I wasn't doing it here, and I don't mind delaying my masteries by a handful of days to get a new legendary champion, and I'm still going to get in those tournaments. I'm still going to get the points for the Dragon tournament. I'm still going to get the points for the Dungeon Divers and the Artifact Enhancement. Like, I'm going to do most of these things regardless, at least to a certain extent. All this fusion does for me is say, during this period, I'm focusing more on champion training. During this period, I'm making sure I'm getting artifacts. Now, during this period, I'm just going to blow some silver and get these relatively free rewards, because I take my time on my account and I spend the time and the points where it's going to get me the double dips. I don't really upgrade a lot of artifacts outside of artifact enhancement events. Artifact enhancement event during a fusion's a triple dip. That's win-win-win. Why would I not go after this? So let me in the comments, what are you going to do? Are you going to go after this? Did you get scared off? And I wanted to make this video early so that in case you got scared off, you had at least another voice to give you pause. And maybe, again, if you don't like the champion, don't get it. But if it's not going to hurt your account to go for it, guaranteed legendaries are just such an amazing thing to go after. As always, this has been an alternate image raid video. If you like, if you really like, sub. And if you dislike, smash that dislike button because it's still engagement for the channel. And as always, have a great day.